Hi everyone, welcome back into My Chamber TV, the heartbeat of the Tampa Bay community. I'm your host, Barbara Marville Kelly. Thank you so much for joining us. We have the pleasure of being right down here in the heart of Oldsmar at their home TV studio, brought to you by WeBeam TV. I have my last very special guest, Mr. John Benincasa with JHB Telephony.
Yes, ma'am.
And I want to hear all about your phone system and your business because it's a little bit different than others that are out there.
Yes, it is. What we specialize in is cloud-based phone services. And cloud-based phone services do two primary functions. First of all, it makes sure that calls will always get through to the business even if they lose power or internet. Secondly, and most importantly, it makes sure that calls will always be answered by a live person instead of going to voicemail. And as you can appreciate, and I'm sure your audience can appreciate, in this day and age, when a call comes in from a customer or prospect, you want to answer that call live. Because if you don't, they're going to call somebody else.
Absolutely.
The last thing they want to get is a business signal, and heaven forbid the last thing they want to do is go to voicemail. So that's the primary way our technology helps businesses succeed in this environment. The third thing as a bonus is, for the most part, we're able to switch people to these cloud-based phone services and save them anywhere between $1,000 to $1,500 a year, depending on the size of the business on their phone bills. That's just an added bonus thrown in.
That's a nice added bonus.
Yeah, it's great. You can buy a lot of donuts, which I know Jerry likes for that money, you know. So.
Well, you know, that is pretty exciting because you're so right, and especially just take for real estate agents, for example. I mean, you cannot let anybody go to voicemail. You've got to get right back with them, and even if you're with a customer, you know, just to touch base and give them a time frame to get back with them. Other businesses are the same way. Who wants to lose business? And you're right, I'm the same way. I have a list of who I'm going to call. I'm going to go bingo, bingo, bingo. Who's going to take my call? And if I resonate with someone the first time around, it could have been 2 calls before that. So I understand totally what you're talking about.
We recently helped a local chamber member who's an air conditioning company. We switched them to one of our services.
Oh boy.
And for them it is absolutely critical because exactly what you're saying. If a call comes in and they don't get it and they're having problems with their air conditioner and they're totally panicked out because, as you know, it's going to be like 92 degrees here in Oldsmar today, they're going to call somebody else. Missing calls cost them business. The system we're putting them in, it's going to save about $700 a year, and they will always get calls to a live person during normal business hours and even after business hours if they so choose.
That's wonderful. How long have you been doing this?
I actually started the business back about 35 years ago when phones were just migrating from renting them from the Bell companies to being able to switch to your own phone. So I've been doing this a long, long time.
I was just going to say 35. So you have seen it all. You've seen it all come and go, come and go, come and go.
Yes, I really have.
That's right. And how long have you been with this company?
Well, this is my second company. My first company was a consulting company, and then JHB Telephony. I think we're going on our 15th year anniversary. As a matter of fact, we'll probably, I think next year, we're going to have a little special event. We usually hold it here at our lovely chamber offices, and I think that's something we're planning to do next year here to celebrate.
Oh, that's exciting. So you've got history in the business. You know what you're talking about. You know how to address any issue, any challenge that we may have with particular phone systems. It sounds like you've got the real sweet spot, a good handle on it.
We really do, and we can help businesses from a home-based business all the way up to full call centers. So we have 9 different carriers that we work with that will allow us to address the needs of any company at any size and any technological need that they might have.
That's fabulous. And how long have you been a member?
I have been a member here for about 12 years, and I am extremely proud of this chamber. Not only am I a chamber ambassador, I'm on the board of directors for our wonderful education foundation, which I'm sure you've talked about before here. And then I'm also co-captain of our Chamber Relay for Life team, which raises money, as I'm sure you've heard of, with the Relay for Life and the American Cancer Society.
Yes.
So I'm very, very proud of this chamber and what it's become and what it's continuing to become in this wonderful and wonderful area. And I'm a resident of Oldsmar.
And how long have you been living here?
I've been living here almost 30 years.
See? That you are the perfect example of really stepping in with your whole body with the Chamber of Commerce by, volunteering your time and as an ambassador and the experience and the engagement. And Jerry was talking about it in our first interview with him on relationship building.
Absolutely. One of the things I also do for the chamber is myself and a fellow by the name of Gerald Jacobs of Jacobs Realty, twice a year we train people on how to do networking. And we teach people how to make the most of the time they have one-on-one with others to deliver their message and make the most of the relationships so they can start building relationships to increase their business and increase their visibility within the chamber.
Exactly.
I would say to you that probably I'm at a point where 80% of my new business I get are chamber members, which is exactly the goal I think of any new member of the chamber.
Yes, I was going to say that's fabulous. We're always going to need phones, right?
Always going to need phones, always going to need phone services, and we think we have as good an answer or better than pretty much any other company out there.
Wow, that's really great. Backing up a little bit on networking.
Yes.
You train.
Yes, ma'am.
On how to network one-on-one. Can you give us some tips on a few do's and don'ts? How's that?
Well, the first thing you don't do, one of the things is, folks, see these things, turn them off when you go into a meeting, please. Number one.
Thank you.
And don't be texting while you're in a meeting. That's pretty much a no-no. That does not speak well of you professionally. Secondly, when you're giving a commercial, a lot of people will come and they'll say, "Hi, I'm John, I'm with JHB Telephone, and my company does this, 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 and this." What really works well if you're talking to someone one-on-one is go to example marketing, like you just heard me do about the air conditioning company earlier. "Hi, I'm with JHB Telephone. Let me tell you something, or someone I've recently helped." And no matter what you're doing, whether you're a financial advisor, banker, doesn't matter, there's always a story you could tell that can help people better understand how you help others, and that resonates with people and it sticks with them and gives them a better basis of which to send you referrals or even give them your own business.
You know, that's really a good suggestion because people love stories.
Yes.
They love stories because what we're doing is we're painting a subliminal picture that just takes root in their brain, and then they can pull from that at a time when they may need you. So that's really, really good. A lot of people, I don't know, with networking, it can become very stale and stagnant.
Yes.
And I love the fact that you're, where do you do the training?
We do it right here at the chamber office.
Yeah.
And now and again, we have one of our fellow chamber members lend us their conference room space. If we get, sometimes we can get 35 to 50 people, in which case we were a little bit cramped in that little conference room there. So one of our fellow chamber members will allow us to use their larger conference room. So that's really, really nice.
That is good. And I would guess that you have that feeling that networking is a really big deal, right?
Well, especially in this chamber, as you've heard, we're a one-on-one relationship building company, our chamber. And that aspect of it is absolutely critical to the success, especially in this chamber. Now, we're doing other things, as you heard Zach talk about before, but I still think that's the bedrock of this chamber.
Absolutely. Well, that's really exciting. I mean, you are very well-rounded and really, you have your roots planted here. That is so, so great. Any tips you can give our viewers on the phone service? I mean, you gave a great presentation on what you're doing, but any tips on what to look for if they're doing their comparison shopping? And you know we do that.
Right, sure.
Right?
Number one, don't get prices or make your decision based on some company you've found on the internet. In our experience, and we pretty much know them all, though there's new ones popping up all the time, about 70% of the companies out there that are offering VoIP services don't meet our criteria so that we would choose to represent them to our clients and our prospects. There's a lot of really not that good, let's be kind about it, companies offering cloud-based phone services. So don't do that. What I would suggest you go, and not only at my company, but there are we have other people in the industry, other competitors of mine. Go to one of them first and talk to them, explain to them what your needs, and let them show you what carriers they think and what services and equipment will be good for your company.
Absolutely. It's basically doing your homework.
Well, it's like buying insurance. Let an insurance agent or a travel agent or a financial planner do your homework for you because they're the experts and they'll steer you towards the right products and the right companies that will do the best thing for your company.
Exactly. Well, I'll tell you, this is some great information. John Benincasa with JHB Telephony, and you can get a hold of him and do an interview with this man. I mean, you really know your stuff. He has a lot of history in the business 35 years. If I'm going to call a company, I want somebody that knows what they're talking about, that has the integrity and has the experience. And with 35 years in the business alone, 15 years in your business, I mean, that's a lot. It truly is. And it's always nice to brand people like yourself through My Chamber TV, which we air through WeBeam TV. And we do this show every single third Wednesday. And we're right here. What do you think of this?
I think what you're doing is fabulous. And as Zach said, who was on before, video is everything. It's a great way to reach people, and I think what you're doing here is fabulous. I'm glad that the Chamber is doing this, and I appreciate the wonderful job you folks here and your staff do with My Chamber TV.
Well, thank you. And it really is the truth, is branding you through video and letting you get a chance to hear an interview like this. You get a chance to meet somebody like John and the rest of the guests that we have in the show. And remember, it's all about engagement. If you'd like to see what's happening in your community here in the town of Oldsmar, come on down. Their footprint goes pretty wide around, and you can see the great happenings like Oktoberfest. I already got my tickets for this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You gonna be there?
I will be volunteering for the Chamber, for the Education Foundation, and I'll be volunteering for the Relay for Life team. We all have booths there, so I'm really excited about that.
It's going to be such a great event. I tell you, and I hear the weather's going to be great. Might be a little bit hot, but it's Florida, right?
Hey, brats taste good no matter what the weather is, right?
And cold beer.
And cold beer, yes,
and
ma'am.
German dancing, and all the games. We'll see you back next time. Thanks, John.
Thank you.